These are the 4 reasons why people and business owners choose viral funding solutions for getting business funding, business loans of any nature, and much more. Hi, this is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business loan broker expert who's been able to help a lot of businesses get the right type of financing under the right strategic partnership and longer term roadmap. And I am the founder, the owner of Viral Funding Solutions in the flesh. You are seeing him. Perhaps you already know. But I want to go into in this video, not to take up a lot of your energy and time, on the 4 reasons why people choose Viral Funding Solutions over anyone else. And it will be very revealing if you haven't heard and even seen any of this. So please stick with me until the very end. I'm also going to be getting into 0% interest for 6 to 18 months and up to 150, if not 250,000 in business credit cards, and doing a combination on the business and personal side and mitigating your risks. So I have on my screen here a post that I put up earlier, and I want to use that as navigation. I have it up here, but I want to get into the specifics of what I said in this image. I may link it to you down below if it's there. If it's not, it's fine. And in the description, you'll be able to get started with the questionnaire, or in the bio if you're watching here on TikTok. Go to the bio, click the link. The first button is the funding submission form. Fill that out, and I'll be able to evaluate and analyze your best funding option and options thoroughly broken down. And so one thing people, they turn to myself and my company with Viral Funding Solutions is because you're fed up. You're tired of getting these options and not getting what's in your best interest. Maximum terms, rates, funding, versatility, flexibility, early payment discounts, no prepayment penalty, prepayment penalties. What do I get in return? And so I'm looking at it from your best interest, not in mine. So here are the 4 reasons why Viral Funding Solutions. Number 1 being experience. And that means I, myself, my network, my team have many years of experience in the business finance space and running multiple businesses and understanding the importance of becoming and staying well capitalized, even when the banks say no to you or anyone else, and even through your hardest of times. Believe me, I've been there. I run multiple businesses. Just in case you're wondering, there's not 500 people here, it's me. And so I run multiple businesses. I have one in the digital marketing agency. I have affiliate marketing businesses. I have other ventures. Those have been running for many years, and I've built those over many, many years. And so this is my primary focus now. And so I wouldn't want to give anybody my business who will not treat it correctly. And so you should be thinking about it the same way. So the hardest of times, we have vetted the best lenders, underwriters, and sphere of influence so you only get the best. And I put this together myself. This is me putting it for you guys. And I care about you. Number 2, versatility. You get the versatility and flexibility to use a number of different services, even combined, and I put that in parentheses, to get you maximum funding at the terms and rates and more you deserve, with a plan that is personalized and customized highly for you, that's tailored to you for your solution and solutions. It's different for everybody. We take out of the box thinking to literally another level. I'm a math and systems guy, so just imagine the guy behind the scenes doing all the hard work. Contrary to popular belief, now I do the video content. I did the blogging for a long time without ever doing video, and I feel more comfortable doing those. Even right now, it's still terrifying for me to do video. But when you have somebody like myself, believe me, what you're getting is well worth the energy and time. You'll realize that. Number 3, integrity. We believe that your, and I put your in parentheses, priorities and needs are met over, yes, mine, ours. And we strive every day to maximize your results at the most efficient energy and time-saving ways. Your personal and business relationship and relationships matters greatly and does matter tremendously. Not short-term, but longer-term. You're not a number to me/us. So what I want to back up on that is say, there are a lot of lenders and organizations that are very shady. Even if they're legit or not, they'll do what's in their best interest. They want to make the most amount of money out of a client, so they're going to bait and switch you. They're going to do a lot of things just to try to get your business. Why would you want to deal with someone like that? How many of you are just desperate for looking for funding? You're like, at this point, I just had to click an email and I had 30 different people sending me offers. I just had to click one and view it and then sign the contracts. And by that point, you can't do anything else. So I'll go to the comments here in a moment, but that's integrity on my part, and there's more I can put. Loyalty, this is the last one. And there's more I can put underneath these values and more. But loyalty, you are at the front and center of what we do, and you're getting someone who will stand by your side in even the toughest of times and help you achieve your longer term, not shorter term. And if you want short, that's fine. We can work if we need to there and then work up to longer term. And what does that look like financially on your return on the investment, your net profitability, your net operating income, all these different things. And will help you achieve your long-term outcome and results without question and without feeling pressured or worried someone is going to quote unquote sell you and sell you hard. And I put in parentheses here, yuck, with an exclamation point. You don't want to be sold to. I hate that word. I hate sell. I hate the word sold. And although we are selling each other and we're all selling something sometimes, I'm not like that. Again, I don't come from that background who's going to be high pressure sales and closing, the slick hair back guy who like always comes in with the suit and just he's ready to dial 100,000 times and he's just calling you out of the blue. Why would you want to deal with someone like that when you're getting somebody's content and yours truly, who I do it without any expectation? What I've been showing you guys on my YouTube, on my blogs, a lot of this stuff you can't just find. I go in deep, very deep. And I'm not saying, hey, if you don't get a loan today, you better not. But there's also a standard that needs to be met on your side. Are you doing 50-50 or are you just trying to take 80 and keep me at 20%? As in, well, it's your turn to take action. See, if you're caught in motion, email, like I have people who do that all the time. And I'm like, didn't they say they wanted to get help like a week ago? Where did they go? Or they appeared again and then now they're just sucking up my energy and time to do what? So they're looking after themselves more than you guys are caring about me. See, I'm a very nice, don't mistake my kindness for weakness kind of guy. I'm a very humble, respectful individual. My family will tell you that. My younger brother will. I'm a Libra. I'm not here to trick anybody. I've always been very responsive and helpful with people. And so I never take advantage of people at all. And so here, that's what I put. Now let me transition over to another why on my site and then we'll close up shop here. We'll try to go to the comments. And for those of you that I need to get back on the questionnaire form, if you've submitted it, I will, believe me. It's a Monday as the time that I'm making this. I've been quite flooded. I wouldn't be making this video unless I got what I needed to done earlier. So now that you know a little bit about why, let me go a little bit about into why this guy. Outside of the values that I just gave you, well, I've been in your position. Whether you are in it now or were, I work 9 to 5. Oh, what a surprise. Yeah, but I didn't just work one. I worked in different roles. And before I even got into the workforce, I was an academic, doing well in school, went to school for sociology, and then transitioned into chemical engineering. Eventually, then I got into the business administration. I realized that's what I wanted to do, and it was going to lead me to more. Not saying that chemical engineering math was that much more difficult or anything, but I loved chemistry. I loved the sciences. I loved the math. And I was very geared to systems, very geared to math. And so I went to school, I played Division I soccer as well. And then went into the workforce even more. And I remember having done various roles. I was in my younger 20s. In your younger 20s, you learn this. And I took different positions. I worked in warehousing. I was even a ramp, the ramp agents? But before they had me doing this, they put me in the room where I had to pick up the baggage and put it back on. Like, that wasn't any easy. Now with the technology and things that they have, it made it a little bit different. But I'm like, what am I doing this for? And so I realized things going outside of education and then coming back to it eventually. But before that, I ended up taking that break and then I went into those roles. I worked in construction. I was working in manhole sewers. I was making sure we were doing the rehabilitation of those with my team, with my uncle, with my cousins. And so we were doing those. And I did it for a little bit. It was too high risk of a job, and I wouldn't blame anybody else, those of them who had to leave too and transition to another phase. But it wasn't for me either. I was in the shop trying to work that out. I was in California. Then I went into manufacturing. I did that for a little bit. I was doing aerospace manufacturing. They actually had me on I was on the machines, guys. I wasn't in the financial. There's the logistics. There's the guy working in the cubicle. Now, eventually I got there. But there was a time and period in my life where I was working on those machines. I was pumping out the tooling. The die was inside the machine, and then I was pumping out the tool, which was one of the first pieces that goes through the process in manufacturing. And so I had learned that one well. And just some things happened in that company where people were just, oh, if you get into that space, ooh, I don't want to get too much into it, but people were just looking out for themselves and they weren't really giving enough help to someone else. And so they didn't want to lose their position. Of course they didn't. Even if they weren't retiring, they were like, we're not going to give this young person. They wanted to go with somebody who was older. And so even though I had learned it and somebody was stalling, I learned. And then I moved into the blueprint room there. I was doing well. And then they had to move positions around, of course, like anything else. So I was doing well there, doing the math on stuff and figuring out the products that people needed. Eventually, I got into financial and logistics. And I started doing a lot of data with budget analysis. And then from there, I was also I was working as a contracting company for HP and Peace Health. So one of the biggest contractors here in the area. And it was a 3-story building, HP, Peace Health at the very top, HP in the middle when you walk in through the doors, and we're at the bottom. But I was interchanging between them. And so we had to move media. There was a physical component. It wasn't as heavy. So that's why I kind of took it. I'm like, it's not going to be a lot. This is what it is. And it's going to move me here eventually. Well, okay. I got to start here now and I got to move up. So I started doing things, but I wasn't able to get that position up. The person in front of me didn't want to retire. And so that was a tough time. Very slow at the time, but I was working on the computer a lot, ordering things and coordinating within the truckers, everything logistics, financially related there, and working and being around the owner of the HP there and everything. Eventually, where another company was trying to buy over the company that I was associated with, they ended up buying it over, and then I ended up doing even more work with the owner of that company. They brought me into their office, and they knew me well, so I would go in there and map out. They'd have their systems on the board, on the whiteboard, and I would just kind of look at it all and see, okay, where can we improve the system, not only for my department, but how about this department? And then I knew, like, we had to move this around. How about we marketed that better, and then we move this around a little bit, or how about we move this part? And then that's when it only added more. And at that time, I was already preparing to transition over to another job. I was like, I'm going to go into banking now. Then I wanted to do chemical stuff, but I was like, I'm going to, at that time, like, see how the paths take you a different direction. And so I'm like, I got to go look for another job, or do I get more certifications? I have many of them. I don't need another one. Am I going to go do over-the-road trucking? Should I go do that, become an owner-operator? I literally thought about it. One of my friends was in it. And it was at that time, I'm literally sitting at my desk. And this is a cubicle now. We're at the bottom of a 3-story building. It is very bright down here, but at the same time, it's dark. The light's shining above me, hovering over me like a UFO light, just beaming through. And before I even looked up, it looked like it was already in front of my face. But as you turn up, you can see the lights just staring at you so brightly. And it's like if somebody was interrogating you and you were in a dark room. And at the bottom, you can see brown floors with cracks, kind of like running parallel or running next to each other. It's almost like a fault. It's about to open up, a black hole. But literally, and then I'm in this cubicle where they now moved me to as a second one, as a transition with my employee, or my coworker, excuse me. He had gone to lunch. I'm sitting in my cubicle. But before that, I walked over to the refrigerator that was right around the corner, grabbed my blue lunch bag. I can remember it so well. I picked it up like this. I didn't have a hot meal that day. The microwave was next to it. I walked around the corner. I saw another person, so I just said hi, walked around, walked into my cubicle, sat down on my desk, and this is where people can walk down the hall. So I'm sitting right here. There's 4 corners. I'm right here. Just imagine me being right here. There's people walking like this. And I just say hi, but there's people that sometimes just like peek in. I'm like, where's the privacy? And so I'm one of those people. And so I like to say hi and so forth. But the thing is, I'm sitting there on my desk having my sandwich. It was just the tomatoes, ham, and cheese. That's literally all it was. And then my chips were the Doritos, the red Doritos, if I can remember that. That's what it was. And I had my water. Usually I have that. And I just take a few bites. And then literally the next second, I get a notification on my phone from Tyson. Like, oh, my old friend. I haven't contacted him or I haven't connected with him in a little bit. I opened up the Snapchat social media app, opened up the message, and he was commenting back to my meal the night before. I had teriyaki. If you know, you know. And so we connected again. We started saying, hey, how are things going? And what he was doing with his trucking business. And he told me, I went, yeah, I'm good. And I'm usually very positive. Like I don't have bad thoughts about really anything. And so I'm a very positive person, and I was just in the inside I was still like, I'm good, but I'm not like 100%. But what I did is I asked him how he was doing, and he says, "Hey, Michael, do you know about this thing called passive income? Have you heard of e-commerce? Have you done anything with digital marketing?" And so some time ago, I ventured into network marketing, but it really wasn't my thing. It didn't even sit with me. That thing was just, no. And so he started talking to me about it, and that's when he told me about a digital marketing agency. That's when he started talking to me about affiliate marketing, e-commerce. So that day, literally, I went home. It was 2:30, I believe. Went up the elevator, out the doors, like almost ran through my car, and sat in there, turned it on in my red Honda at the time with the roofing and the sun. When I used to live in California, all the sun got on it so you can see the spots. An old Honda, red Honda. And what happened is I got home. Literally, I felt like I was just bursting through the door, unlocked it, boom, door opens, and in front of me are my stair steps. I have my backpack behind me. I literally turn it over this way, and I just like put it right in front of me. It almost felt like I threw it, but I literally just placed it. I walked around, and then I can see my kitchen. And on the kitchen is sitting my laptop from that same morning. I was already doing a few things. I pick it up, I put it on my dining table, opened it up. Digital marketing, affiliate marketing, and I started reading blog posts. I started going through YouTube content. And then that's where it all began. The rest, you can say, it's history. I started putting a website together. I started understanding what different components of the marketing cycle were. Like I learned some of this back in high school, a little bit of it in college, but it wasn't like something I went in depth into too much, like in the point of a digital marketing perspective. Now classes, that's another thing, but how deeply you can get into it with this, that's a whole different thing that they don't usually teach you. So when I started learning more about it and putting the pieces together, put a digital marketing agency site up, I started getting clients, friends, and family. That's been spread over time and grew even more to the point where now I have it as a do it for yourself instead of done for you because of how I'm doing a lot of things now. But then at the same time, I was building my affiliate marketing business in the health space. I was helping people with their back pain, and I blogged and blogged. Like literally, guys, if you're a writer and if you're thinking about getting into anything that's writing related, do it. Don't give it second thoughts. And so what I did is I started doing a lot of blog content on the health related space. And then after that grew, everything started going well. Then I transitioned into another space helping people with the software products, things that I was using in my business to elevate and what I was currently doing. And then I had a few other ventures, and then eventually getting into the business loan brokering world. I knew that this was eventually the world that I wanted to lead into because I have experience with personal business credit, getting the types of loans you need, what are the parameters, the contingencies, what should you know, what shouldn't you know, what should you avoid, And so aside from that, it's been pushing me a lot. And then the loss of, my dog brother, that was hard, very, very hard. That gave me another why. My why's transformed, and that reason only gave me more to push myself. And if you have a dog or any kind of a pet or any kind of an animal, you know that how loyal they can be and how they can see you at your best and see you at your worst. I don't want to go into that story too much right now, but after 15 years, and he was a peekapoo toy poodle mixed with a Pekingese. Yeah. And so his name was Gizmo, and my favorite. And just, kidney disease got him. Latest stage, and we had to go put him down. But I don't want to get too far into that story. Just know that my why changes over time like anybody else's. I was going away from pain, trying to go towards pleasure. And then that became more pleasurable over time. But what is Viral Funding Solutions? And we'll close up here. So I said it already earlier, but we save you a lot of time, energy, money, and especially the pain of sifting through endless business funding solutions, such as online marketplaces that don't always give you a clear picture and a proper breakdown of your best option and options, and show you everything you need to know before walking into an application with 100%, I'd say 110% confidence and certainty, especially how the banks are doing things now and how they're not always lending as much, and certainty that you won't only get approved but be satisfied with what you are getting. And to give you the most legitimate and helpful source of programs and lenders, and I have my site here. So you can have a safe and secure and hassle-free application process with an expert business loan broker like myself, and I put my name there. You will get a more personalized and customized response with what's best for you once and for all. And I went into how it works earlier, more or less. But how do I get it done? Efficiently with my processes, my systems, and my automation. Having multiple businesses has allowed me to understand what's most effective to be able to help you in what mode of communication and what times of that communication. So you submit a pre-qualification questionnaire. So I'll link it to you down below or in the bio. You fill that out. There might be another format, but you fill that out, and then I'll be able to evaluate your best funding option and option. So once that goes through, I'll be able to look at that. Step 2, I'll respond back via email on your best funding option and options thoroughly broken down. I have a process. You should see it in the questionnaire or in the thank you page, etc., but you'll learn about it. And this allows me to help you in the most efficient energy and time ways possible. And a lot of people love it when they realize it, like why I do it this way. They go, yeah, I wouldn't want to have my energy and time wasted. Why would I be getting on phone calls every single second and then it never went anywhere? Or if it went somewhere, I'm like, when did it go there? It took forever, or just there's too much where people are pretenders and then there are action takers. So I want to make sure that I'm filtering that out. So step 2, you get the funding options in that email. Step 3, get started on the application. From that email, you can normally get started and I'll guide you. It's very safe and secure, literally 100%. And so when you can get started from that email, then you'll be able to go through the process. So that's how it works, and I'll leave the questionnaire, and there are many services that I can offer. Now let me go to the comments. I won't say necessarily the city, but I will say that I am in Washington State. I just don't want to start saying that for many reasons. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing because you brought it up. I could get specific in that, but let's just say it's in Washington State. And for those of you who know, because I've built enough of a relationship anyway, so that comes in time when I establish it, or sometimes I've said it in the beginning. But for now, I want to say I am in Washington State. How about yourself? I'll leave it open for about another minute or two. I'm not even a talker, guys, but I just spoke for quite a bit. I do feel like this is of value to you. Hopefully you do see that in the transparency. And if you haven't yet, you'll see it in time. I'm always asking of people if I can trust them versus them trusting me. And so it's more about the person that I'm helping because it's a character issue. I see it a lot of the times with business owners that are not entrepreneurs, even entrepreneurs in times, that they lack the character. And that's what gets in our way when we go into an application. So I'm not saying you have to be like me or anything like that, but just leave that out the door. And don't bring that complexity, the frustration, the friction, the resistance. We can leave that. There's sometimes that, but we leave that. And you're going to be in the safest of hands. Nice. I'd like to go out there and visit. Texas is on my list. Hopefully I get to do it this year. I have a few California visits, maybe before October, because I'll be in October and November. I should be in California for weddings. That'll be very cool. But Houston is a place I would like to visit. It's on our list. My younger brother, our family. And also, I've been to Dallas. Dallas is pretty cool. A long time ago. And I have a few friends out there as well. But Houston is definitely on my list to go and visit. And you feel free to mention any location, any of interest. But I'm in Vancouver, Washington. So if you're being open, I'll be open with you on that. It's a little bit harder for me too. Maybe it is the same. But yeah, I'm in that area. It's not too far away from the border of Oregon. You can cross the border literally from here to the Oregon. It's about 10 minutes. Great location. Great place to raise your family. I would call it more of a retirement location. But doesn't mean it's boring. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just slower paced, which is not bad. When I used to live in California, I used to live in Orange County. I'd rather have this than that. Not because I've lived here longer, but because I do see the differences. And there's a lot more temptation, or there's a lot more distractions. Not that I'm saying I would have. Maybe I would have if I grew up there more. But I left at the age of about 11, and then I went back to school over there for college, and I stayed out there to work for some time. So I was there in my younger 20s a lot. And yeah, I did the drive from there to here. And I don't think I ever want to do that again. But as we get older, we don't want to do things like that. You know, with family and all that, it's different. But going through plane and back is best. Maybe I'll do it one time again. But I know all that. Does anybody else have any questions before I get going? Thank you, Brittany, if you're still in here, for the follow. As well as anybody else in here, if in case I missed anybody. I know this was more of a spontaneous live. And appreciate the likes, guys. The hearts, I've seen them. And I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you for your energy and time. I'll give it about another 30 more seconds and then I will get going. Okay, everybody. Appreciate you guys. I got to get back to some questionnaires. I'm going to take a break, though. And then I did my workout this morning, so I might get on the bike or the treadmill in the garage. Maybe later. Had a lot of food this weekend. And Tuesdays usually are my cardio days. Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Thursdays, leg days. Fridays, I'll go back outside and do some cardio. Sundays, cardio. Saturday, break. I'll do weights in between those days, Monday through Friday. Not too heavy, just repetition. Nothing heavy. Not like gym-wise heavy. But I might do a little bit tonight. I got to get caught up on a few questionnaires that actually just got submitted recently and a few from the past. So I may be doing that tonight. I know I have some days where I do that. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything. Please look down below in the description for the questionnaire to get started with. All information will be there as well if you're watching this later on the replay. TikTok, bio, link, click. Instagram, click the link, please. And all other sources, you can find them in the bio. But that is it for now. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon as well as evening, and I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.